Okay, so some things to do with strings. I'm just going to launch into Python here and do this. This will work in a script as well. If you put this in the file, obviously it'll work in a script as well. But I'm just going to do it in the Python shell so I can look through a few things here fairly quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off, I'm going to have a variable called phrase, and I'm just going to assign an arbitrary string to this. So I'm going to say this is happy birthday to you. Okay, so that's my phrase, happy birthday to you. And I'll just print that out. Okay, so we can see that happy birthday to you is the value of phrase. One thing that is commonly encountered when working with a string or working with a list or working with a file is you've got a compound structure that's made up of individual units. In the case of a string, the individual units that it's made out of are characters. And we can use a for loop in order to iterate or work our way through the string. So let me just show you how you do that. For I in phrase. Let's just talk about this a second before I start running it. I is just a loop variable. I could use any legitimate variable name, but I'm going to use I. Quite often for a loop variable, use I, J, K as values for that. It's just a throwaway variable that we're not going to be using again. It's just there to keep track as we're going through the loop. In, okay, so for each thing in phrase. Well, the thing that phrase is made up of, like I said, is characters. So this is going to go through each character, and every time it goes through the loop, the character that it's working on is going to be what I refers to. So I'll just do this really straightforward. Print I. Okay, and it's easy enough to do. And what this is going to do is it's going to go through and work its way through the string and print each character as it gets to it. So here we go. And there it is. Happy birthday to you, printed out one character at a time along the side there. What else can we do here? I think that maybe another thing that I'll do is I'll show you how to do a find. That's a good thing to be able to do. Any string has a function built in called find, and here is how we're going to use it. I'm going to create a variable called where, and I'm going to say that it's phrase.find. I'm going to assign it the value of phrase.find. So find is this function. Any string, you tack on dot find, and then the only parameter for that is the character or the substring that you're looking for. So if I want to find out where the letter Y is, then I'll just do something like this. I can see in the original one, Y is the fifth one in right there. So let's see what result we get. Printing where? Where is 4? Oh, hang on a second. It was the fifth letter. What happened there? Well, remember that in computer land, things get numbered starting with 0, not with 1. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 does give us the right spot for Y. I could do this for a substring, not just a character, but an entire substring. So I'm going to look for phrase.find. I'm going to look for TH. Okay, TH is right there in birthday. I'm going to print where. And it's in the 9th spot, which actually means the 10th from the beginning. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Space counts as a character. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, it does start in position 9 within that string. So that's kind of handy to be able to do that too, is find a substring within a string. There are some predefined sets of strings. I'll tell you how we might use something like this. If I define a string that is vowels, and I'm going to say that vowels is A, E, I, O, U. Let's try something out here. For I in phrase, for each character in phrase, if not, or if I not in vowels. Okay, so let me think about this for a second. For I, if the character is not in vowels, if it's not in that set of characters, so if it's not in A, E, I, O, U, I'm going to have it print up. Print I. Okay, so this should print out all of the letters that are not vowels. If it is a vowel, we're not doing anything with it. So let's try this and see how it works. Okay, so here we go. The string is printed with all the vowels taken out. I could make this a little more interesting. I could say for I in phrase, if I not in vowels, print I. Else, if it is a vowel, I'll have it print an asterisk. Okay, so this time every vowel spot should be taken with an asterisk. Ready? There we go. We've got an asterisk in every spot where there would be a vowel. We can use this to build up other strings from this original string, and this is kind of a nice approach to working with a string. I'm just going to create a variable here. I'm going to call it new string, and I'm going to make it an empty string. It contains nothing right now, but it is a string variable. And I will do this. For I in phrase, same kind of structure again. We're going to work through letter by letter. And if I not in vowels, again. This time, instead of printing it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it onto the new string. So I'm going to say new string equals new string plus I. So if it's not a vowel, I'm going to add it on to the string. Let's just see. I think I did that right. Let's see how that works. Okay, it doesn't show anything because I haven't said to print. I've just said to add it on to the new string. Let's take a look here and see what new string looks like. And there again, we have that, all of those letters without the vowels in them, because this time instead of printing it, what I did is I added that character into this, starting with it being blank, string called new string. One more thing that I will show you, and that has to do with some predefined sets of strings that come in Python, although they're not in there by default. You have to import a string module in order to be able to do that. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to import everything from the string module. And there's a few that are handy, 4 in particular that I'm thinking of that I will show you and maybe do something with one of them. So the first one is lowercase. I don't even have to say anything. Lowercase is a string that's already defined. It's in the string module. And lowercase is all the letters A through Z. And there's also correspondingly, there's one called uppercase, and that checks for uppercase letters. If you want to look for punctuation, I think that's also another right there, just called punctuation, and that gives you a list of all the different punctuation characters. And there's another one called white space, and it looks like that. Now, the reason for all of these strange characters, /t, /n, /x, those stand for different characters that don't produce a letter. They produce a blank, a white space in the string. So /t, \t is a tab, \n is a new line or a return or an enter to create a new line. So how would I use something like this? Well, let's go back and I want to take a look at the original phrase here. Okay, so I've got happy birthday to you, and I think what I will do with this is I'm going to put an asterisk in place of anything that is uppercase. So again, I'm going to go through the loop for I in phrase. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that if I in uppercase, if it is in uppercase, I'm going to print out an asterisk again, just so I can see that it's being recognized as uppercase. Otherwise, I'm going to print I. Okay, I'm not creating a new string here. I'm just going to print it out character by character. And for uppercase letters, like this H, I should get an asterisk. Everything else I should get the character. So here we go. There it is. So there's a few tricks with strings using this for loop in order to iterate through a string and do something with each character in the string. And you can do all sorts of stuff with that and process it. There, we did define a string that we called vowels that had A, E, I, O, U as its value, and we used that as a way of testing whether a certain character that we're looking at is part of that string, if it's in that string vowels. And there's also some strings that are built into the string module. There's lowercase, which is a set or a string made up of all the lowercase characters. Uppercase, which is correspondingly all the uppercase characters. White space, which is all the non-printing characters. And there is punctuation, which is all the different possible punctuation marks. So a few tips and tricks for working with strings. Once you start to play around with them and get a feel for what you can do with strings, you do all sorts of interesting text processing things to munge through text data and do some quite powerful things with a few simple techniques.